Hey everyone, I want to talk about choices. I know this sounds like I'm a parent talking to my 5-year-old about choices, right? But not that kind. I want to talk about the sheer volume of choices that we are inundated with every single day. We are told we live in the information age. Well, I would say we live in the information overload age, because you go on the internet and there's just stuff everywhere. You go to the store and there's products and stuff for everything you can imagine. I mean, we have so many choices available to us now that I think a lot of people feel overwhelmed. It's hard to simplify. It's hard to just boil things down and focus on something. Personally, the way I feel is, I have felt this many times in my life, if I don't do that, I won't ever know, and I'll live wondering if I ever could have made something of that. You know, maybe it's a business idea or something. And so I don't like to say no to things. That's my tendency. And I don't know if you feel the same way, but I'll tell you what, it's hard. It really is. It's hard because we really have a lot of choices in front of us every single day from the time you wake up. So a couple of things that I have picked up that has really helped me is automate where you can. For example, my wardrobe I automate. I get clothes that I like and clothes that match. They're just basic, universal. You know, my pants are all darks, and they're all generic tones of color, like a charcoal or a dark blue or something that matches almost everything. And then my tops are very simple, and I can wear any of my pants with any of my shirts and I look fine. I'm not going to go win a fashion contest, but I don't care. I'm not looking for that either. But the reason I do that is, in my wardrobe, I grab from the right and I put back on the left after it's washed. So when I go to get dressed in the morning, I eliminate that choice from my life. I know where I grab. I grab the right hand shirt and the right hand pair of pants and I put them on. And I don't think twice about it. I don't spend any time making that decision. Not because it's a hard decision to make. Okay, it's a pair of pants and a shirt. And sometimes we spend 5 or 10 minutes or even more stressing about it or thinking about it. Well, I just wipe that off my plate. So when I get dressed in the morning, it's just go in, grab, and go. There's a freedom, a mental freedom associated with eliminating choices like that out of our lives, because they really don't matter. 5 years from now, 1 year from now, 1 month from now, 1 day from now, no one's even going to know what you wore yesterday. Who even cares? No one pays attention to that. Our lives are so busy. We're very narcissistic to think that everybody's going to pay attention to what I wore today. And if I wore the same outfit last Tuesday, people will be like, why you only wear that outfit on Tuesdays, or whatever weird thing we start making up in our brains. It just doesn't happen. And if it did, so what? Who cares anyways, right? So anything like that you can take out of your life so that it frees up your mind to make more important decisions. I think that's mind-freeing advice number one. And the next thing is just to remember, I heard this from an old mentor of mine, a wise man once said, make a decision and then make it right. I think sometimes we spend too much time analyzing the decision, and we worry about it way too much. We get this paralysis of analysis. We all have heard that, right? Where we're just paralyzed because we're over-analyzing. And then we freeze and we end up doing nothing. And then we feel this guilt, and it becomes kind of this cycle. We're like, well, I got to do something, but I'm not ready to take action, so I'm going to analyze some more. And I'll do another chart or another graph or another pros and cons list to see if it's really the right decision for me. You know what? If it feels good and at a glance you've gone through some basic things, start taking the steps forward. And then you'll know if you made the right decision or not. But if you don't take the right steps, a lot of times you won't ever know if you made the right decision if you don't move forward. So you got to move forward on things. Just take steps and move forward. Take action. Nothing replaces just the simple idea of taking action rather than sitting on the sidelines and thinking and looking and wondering and considering and analyzing and then testing and then asking around and checking with other people and doing some more research and checking the reviews. And, we have so many tools at our fingertips that it's so easy to get bogged down with this analysis, the paralysis of analysis. So avoid that like the plague, because it's a comfort zone down there. It's comfortable, but you have that nagging feeling in the back of your head that you're not doing anything, and that eats at you, and it makes life kind of miserable and unhappy. Action makes you happy. It's fulfilling because you're doing something. You're taking steps forward. They may not be huge steps. They may not even be the right steps. They may be steps, but they're not steps in the right direction, but they're steps. And there is a certain level of fulfillment that comes from just taking steps. Then you can always find out later that you made the wrong steps, but that's how you learn. Some of the world's greatest entrepreneurs learned simply by taking steps, and they made a lot of wrong steps. But that's okay. The key is simplify. I'm a part of a couple of communities online, some really valuable entrepreneurial Facebook communities where people are talking about this, and it's a problem. Even entrepreneurs, and I'm sure executives of all kinds, and just anybody, we're not really great decision makers, a lot of us. I know I'm not. It's hard to make decisions because you don't want to make the wrong decision, right? We're too worried about making the wrong decision. We were taught in school, you've got 4 answers, 3 of them are wrong, 1 of them is right. And we're like, okay, 3 of them are wrong, right. Doing tests, right? Multiple choice or whatever. True, false, one's wrong, one's right. And then you get those weird ones like they're all right, or A and B are right, but C is kind of right, or none of them are right, all of the above, and D, and then F is all of them are right except for D, and then F is also right, and then G is, anyways, get those weird ones. But, but we're taught and ingrained in our lives that there's only one right or wrong answer, and the rest are not right. Well, there's a lot of gray matter that isn't in our school, our education system. A lot of gray area that is in real life. You can make a kind of wrong decision, and you can alter it, making it into a phenomenally right decision. And it started out mostly right and just a little wrong, and then before you know it, just a couple of tweaks, and it was amazing. But you don't get that in school. So we don't learn about decision-making skills, and that's one thing that I really wish as a society we were better at. So, if you have kids, this is what I push it back. I love pushing it back on the kids because I really want to teach my kids to be good decision makers. So they'll come to me with a problem. I never solve my kids' problems. Well, I shouldn't say never, but rarely solve my kids' problems because I want them to learn how to solve their own problems. I want them to pick something. And so they'll come to me, well, what should I wear? It's my favorite question. I don't care. What do you feel best about? But I always push back a question and let them answer their own question. I never give them the answer. Because if I give them the answer, they're just going to keep coming back to me. And if you're a manager or a boss or CEO and you've got employees that do this, they're only going to become dependent on you if you keep answering their questions. We, as a society, have got to become better at making decisions and then making them right and standing behind our decisions, being accountable, not being afraid to make wrong decisions, okay? As long as we're doing it with the spirit of and the intention of we were trying to do what was best and we failed. Right? I love that scene on Meet the Robinsons where they gather around the dinner table or something. One of the members of the family talked about how they tried something and they failed, and everybody cheered. They cheered for them. Do you do that at your business, your company, or in your family? Do you cheer failure? Or do you have it set up in such a way that people are afraid to make decisions because of how they will be made to feel after you find out they made the wrong decision? So it's a culture thing, but it seeps over into society. And if you're having struggles or challenges in your life, making decisions, take a couple of those suggestions that I gave out a little earlier, and then be okay with making the wrong ones. Tell yourself, and it's just kind of a mental thing. You say, you know what, I might make the wrong decision, and that's okay. You can even say that to yourself out loud. I might make the wrong decision. This might not be the right decision, and that's okay. It doesn't matter that much. What matters is that you take action. Of course, do a little bit of due diligence, and of course, don't just jump into something without having studied or read up on it, especially if it's a really important decision. If it's what's for dinner, it doesn't matter. Don't spend too much time on it. If it's, what should I wear? Or what kind of watch should I put on today? Or should I have the meeting at 2 or 2:30? Most of those types of small decisions we spend way too much time on, and we don't spend nearly enough time on the decisions that matter most. For example, how much time did you spend on your last vacation, or on your last, planning your last vacation, or planning your retirement, or your future, or tomorrow? How much time did you sit down and write out your goals for the next 3 to 5 years, and what you want to do with your life, and how you want to, you're probably talking to the wrong audience. If you're listening to this, you probably are the type that does that, but there's a lot of people that don't. They spend more time fussing about, all these insignificant decisions, and all that time over the course of any day adds up to this mental baggage, and that's why at the end of the day we feel so exhausted, because we've made 150,000 decisions, 149,999 of which were extremely insignificant and hold no significant bearing whatsoever in any kind of long-term situation. So get out of the details and the weeds. Let someone else make decisions, automate, but do spend a little more time on the decisions that matter most. And one last bit of advice. This is what I got from Tim Ferriss in one of his books. I think the 4-Hour Work Week is one of his suggestions. I love this. And I've been, ever since I read it, it was kind of an epiphany where I was like, I got to start doing that. I want to be that person. He said, when you're in a group and people say, okay, well, what movie should we watch? And everybody goes, I don't know. What do you want to watch? I don't know. What do you want to watch? Well, I don't know. Or where should we go to a restaurant? Where do you guys want to go eat? Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I'm good with whatever. What do you want to eat? Oh, whatever. Has anybody ever done that? You know what I'm talking about, right? You've probably done that. I've done it. I think everybody's done it to some degree, but you're like, I don't know. You don't want to be the one to make a decision, because why? If you throw something out there and the rest of the group goes, ew, hamburgers, oh, gross, we just had hamburgers, I can't believe, or whatever, you don't want to feel rejected. We don't like that. But Tim Ferriss, pretty successful guy, good to follow advice from people like that, suggests be the one in the group that makes the decision and makes a suggestion. And you don't even have to be forceful with it. You can say, I'm in the mood for Italian. Italian sounds really good. Be that person, because it starts to change who you are inside. And then when you start to change inside, you start getting better at making your own decisions, and not even just decisions in a group. So it seeps over. It has this nice little benefit of seeping over into your life. So be that person. Start there. If you don't know where else to start, just start doing that. If not anything else. I love that suggestion from Tim Ferriss. Just start being that person. But become a good decision maker. Make your decisions count. Goals, habits, routines, all of those, they're all made up of these little itty bitty baby decisions that we make every single day. Even the decision to commit to your goals is a decision you constantly have to make. So make it once and be done. And then get on. And all the little insignificant decisions, just get them out, automate them, get them out somehow, and really focus on the ones that matter the most. And that's how you make decision making impactful in your life. I hope that helps. Share your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. Talk to you soon.